My God, this is the busiest day of my activism career ever. I mean, my sources are lighting up like a Christmas tree. I never said so. The mayor went and did an incredible interview with Busby, and oh my God, wait till you see all the, what the fuck's he got all that shit in there? And his big poster of Vladimir Lenin, which I ain't got a problem with that, but my God. So, but anyway, let's get to this. This pisses me off so fucking bad. So, CBS, NBC, ABC, all these people are fucking reporting one more of the Wells has died. The juvenile, they can't find him. They're declaring him dead. And so we're down to 74. They haven't bred any offspring now for, they're saying 3 years, but I think it's longer than that because the three post-Fukushima that were born in the so-called baby boomers in 2015, they're all three dead. So this is a big deal. So I will quote this inside the article, and if this doesn't violate you, piss you the fuck off. Oh, it's this, that, the other thing. And then they go in and they say, quote, and they say, well, this latest thing is the disappearing of the Chinook salmon, which is caused, they're telling they know what it's caused by, overfishing blood. Now remember, my work is so paramount on the collapse of the Pacific salmon. They go to C5, they had record returns in 2010. I want to debunk this right now. Record returns in 20, the baby boomers died in 2015, all three, and then before that, this collapse is happening. There was plenty of salmon there. Record returns on the Columbia River. They feed in the mouth of the Columbia River. Now, I'm the one that started documenting, me and the old retired marine biologist at the Monterey Aquarium, Kevin Doc Ricketts, the marine biologist in the desert of Utah. When I was walking the coast, her and I hooked up, did some work, her and her husband. They're old school marine biologist department chairs, heads, famous old marine biologists. They're in their 80s. She's like, Kevin, I've been waiting for you to show up. We work our boats out there. The Greys are giving birth in Monterey, you know. I'm like, oh my God, in 2015. They work at, the orcas showed up. Oh, what an opportunity to watch the orcas eat baby Greys in Monterey. What the fuck do they even do? They camp at the mouth of the Columbia River just like the fucking sea lions. And this is important. Now listen to me. When the sea lions were all dying, and I'm walking the coast of California, the private independents I was working with, remember when all of them, now they rescued at San Simeon, just them young people rescued, I think, in the three different work together, independent ones, got 1,500. They put them back out and they put these orange tags on them. Noah would only let them put one orange tag instead of two. Joe and those guys, the famous photographers, go out there and a year or two later see how many, they could only find one with the orange tag. They named him Blanche, by the way. They named him Kevin Blanche. So they were finding 40% of the sea lions and sills in the aquarium in the San Francisco Bay, the private aquarium, were testing positive for AML leukemia. They're releasing the, live salmon for them they won't eat. This is much more. We're seeing the salmon are coming in with cancer systems. Now remember, this was record returns in 2015 on the salmon, on the Columbia. You cannot argue with my work. This PhD of mine, this probably is the greatest PhD in human history. I'm telling you. You can't argue with it because I hypothesize they'll collapse the first batch back. The first batch back was 2016. ODFW, NOAA's fucking models was, hello. Their models were showing 1.7 million. They came in at 600,000 right on my number. In fact, 2017, it was an aberration. NOAA's models were 2.1 million. They came in at 408,000, right where I hypothesized. This year I hypothesized at 330,000. Their numbers based on Skateboard were 2.5 million, 2.7 million. We're sitting right, it's in an epic collapse. This is peak week. Tim's out on the water right now. He's fishing with the #1 fisherman. Hey, I did my paper salmon going awake for the molded grapes of rat. You could, with your green jello and fucking funeral potatoes, you get fucking dirt sandwiches now. Fucking Mormon mission fucking accomplished. Unreal. Fucking Mission Bay accomplished in PB, from PB to fucking walking. This is a catastrophe. A catastrophe. And so, the orca's going extinct. Everything. Tide pools. Oh, the tide pools. No, them tide pools aren't coming back. That's all my work. Tide pool. Everybody's. Ooh, God. They say in these articles the Chinook are going. The lack of Chinook. They're finally admitting the lack of Chinook, and then they go into this hypothesis. Oh, no. Overfishing. This, that. No. There's acute record returns in 2015 on the Columbia. Look up their own fucking videos that the Army Corps engineers do. Oh, bragging. Acute. First batch back. So as a scientist, as a PhD, we have to run regression. We do our regression work, as I do my work in the historic library here, as they blackball me inside the belly of the business. University of Nuclearism in your golden handcuffs. It deviates from the mean, just blows all the hell. ODFW, NOAA, fucking everybody's fucking means. They're mystified, they're baffled, they're puzzled, they're stumped, they're fucking mystified. Is that even possible? When you don't plug in plutonium, which I hypothesis is a gas, a chemical reaction, a vapor, a plasma, bringing star power to Earth. That's what Livermore says. Livermore collided at the bottom of the pyramid and got the four in it. You know, my work. That's my. They get millions of dollars, freaking Nobel all over. Freaking, I'm the guy that came up with that. So we run regression. It blows out of the mean. We call that an outliner, kids, class. So the outliner, that means something catastrophic happened in 2011 because we had record returns. Salmon that went to sea in 2010. Salmon that went to sea in 2011 all of a sudden blows the hell out of the regression. Something obviously, that's an outliner, big outliner. Did a meteor hit? That's a tough one to figure out. Fukushima happens, they pour it right into the Pacific Ocean for 2,700 and freaking, we're going on 70 days? Huh, unfucking real. Kevin Blanch, the greatest PhD in human history. I mean, this pisses me off, you know, and I use my art, I use my activists, I use everything. I'm a dynamic person with a lot of fucking hats and a lot of things to try and hold your attention to the fainting ghost. You can go along. And Busby, ooh, remember when I got acute cancer? Remember I did all this while dying, while full of, given a death sentence, multiple myeloma. What timing, huh? What a story. People used to call me Rachel Carson all the time. You're the modern day Rachel Carson. I see the New Yorker's got an article, panty painted some asshole writing about Rachel Carson. No shit about Rachel Carson. Rachel Carson, the greatest activist of our time. You know, now Pussy Riot's been poisoned. I mean, what the fuck? Fucking Putin? Fuck. A little polonium in the fucking tea. What did fucking Manafort fucking say? Only my hairdresser knows. I mean, you seen this story about the hairdresser? Only my hairdresser. How does Kevin Blanch always know? Shampoo, shampoo. Fucking your horse went up to fucking Del Mar. I know you're so vain you probably think this video's about you. Shampoo on fucking chemo. What's that? Whoa. Fuck, what a story. Once you start wearing those, Trump go, what did Manafort say to fucking Trump when they had a conversation? Oh, sorry, I knocked over my teabagger Putin fucking tea. Pardon me. Fucking unreal. These fuckers piss me off. I just debunked you, fucking 100% you people that brand yourself in history like that, these marine biologists, these departments, these academia chairs. Fuck, what is it coming off the fucking lake? Plutonium. All these chemical reactions, everything we've done to her. Right there and throw fucking nuclear fission off Fukushima, you don't even was throwing it, which I call a synergistic effect, which is called plutonium, dry fucking Salt Lake, the driest it's ever been in millions of fucking years, toxins rising up, mixed with it, it's not fire, it's everybody. Oh, I talked to a girl that, oh, the Spanish, no, the Spanish Fork fires are over here. Yeah, Park City got those. You breathe them, not here. No, not here. No, that's off the lake. Well documented. We're getting dry lake effect. You mix all this in together. When we have the atmosphere actually catching fire. I mean, spontaneous fires 14 simultaneously last year and fucking 28 simultaneously this year. What that? You don't think a plasma, a gas? I mean, bringing star power to Earth. The sun's a plasma, a fucking core. I mean, it's a plasma. They're called, I mean, John Holden, the cover-up of Fukushima, calls himself a nuclear fucking plasma fucking scientist. That's what it is. Plutonium. It's like, and so the atmosphere catches fire. I mean, that's what happens. Spontaneous combustion? No. The atmosphere is so toxic, everything we fucking raped and fucking done, and everybody says it's going to get better. Show me how it's going to get better. I want people to tell me how it's going to get better. We done anything to correct the situation? No, we perpetuate the nuclear lie. Fuck. And I want you to watch this video with Busby. Those guys go in his back room and his picture of Vladimir Lenin, which I ain't got a problem with that. And I want to say this because he's got a picture of Vladimir Lenin. Vladimir Lenin coined the fucking term. Useful idiot. Is he a useful idiot? Whoa, give him enough rope, huh? It's a fucking creepy story. You know, Busby hates me because I'm onto that fucking Zarty fuck. Fucking imperialism. Fight imperialism, they'll fucking kill you. And that's what this is. New World Order? No, it's Old World Order. Old as Babylon. I'm going to say this to the flooding situation that's going on in North Carolina right now. Fucking 40, let's stay with me, sorry about that. God, I'm overwhelmed. 40 fucking inches of rain they're expecting. They've had over 30 all-time fucking record. Fucking these reactors are flooding out. They'll be flushing. I tried to post some stuff on a thing and a guy blocked me for just talking nuclearism on thing, and I'm like, fuck you. You know, these fucking panty painter assholes. I mean, it's a flooding nightmare fucking going on right there. These reactors are flooded out. Now, fucking the spent fuel pool's up fucking high. Well, fuck, how much fucking water can they take? How fucking deep can it get? It's going to keep flooding. And their generators, backup generator, fuck whatever, they can legally flush. I mean, it gives them an excuse to fucking dump waste, and they will. I'm fucking here to tell you. It's been proven. Indian Point Sandy proved that when they dumped there. Not to mention they'll dump the sewer systems, they'll dump I mean, it's a nightmare. You know, the environment's out of fucking whack, and no one seems to give a fuck. God's will, bro. And you got the hypocrites, fucking, this shirt is fucking green, this shirt is green, fuck, this shirt's green, nuclear. I mean, the most obvious thing is obvious, the scars across my fucking face. Fukushima happens, fuck, major fucking multiple meltdowns, unforeseen in the history of mankind, dumping in the Pacific Ocean fucking dies, salmon collapse, first batch back, 2015, collapse. I'm overwhelmed. And this research PhD of mine, the greatest in history, needs to go on. I need funding. I need fucking funding. And everybody who's fucking supported this activism, thank you. You are such a big part of this. I can't say how much you mean to me. Flooding in fucking Carolina, desert, fucking no rain from hell here, Great Salt Lake awake. I mean, dead tide pools, fucking salmon collapse, extinct fucking orcas. Who's next? You're above it. Cancer rates, fucking longevity in the United States headed south 2012. I mean, smoking gun, the greatest PhD in human history. Kevin Blanch done what? Given a death sentence. Watch this video on Busby and you tell me how creepy. And now they've poisoned fucking Pussy Riot. Whoa, go against the imperialists. Go against the imperialists. Old world order. Go against them. Fucking, and they're useful idiots. They called fucking academia professors. The greatest PhD opportunity in fucking the history of mankind. And Kevin Blanch is the only one to take Fuktonium skies, a country of fucking lies.